Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Yep.
Okay. Everybody look at this fraction problem. What are they asking you to do? Add two fractions. When you add fractions, what do you know has to happen?
You have to have the same denominator.
You have to have the same denominator. Okay, so do we have the same denominator?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so what do you do if you have the same denominator?
And
Add
You
what?
just add the tops.
So is the answer 5 over 16?
5/8.
Why 5/8?
And keep the common denominator the same.
You keep the denominator the same and you just combine the numerator. So what if this was a minus sign? What if this said 3/8 minus 2/8? What would you do?
Just subtract.
You subtract. Just what?
The
Just the
numerator.
top. 3 minus 2 is 1.
1/8.
Okay. Well, what if I had 4/8? What would you do here? 6/8, and then you are going to do what? Simplify.
3/4.
2 goes into both of these. So the answer is 3/4. Remember that, right? That's old stuff. So now what you're gonna do is we are going to learn how to add and subtract rational expressions. What must be the same? The denominator. Now, on all the problems in this section, the denominators will be the same. So today, we're gonna just warm you up with adding and subtracting expressions. When the denominator is the same, we're gonna review simplifying and talking about restrictions. Okay, so, for example 1. What are you gonna do?
Add 2, 3 plus 5, so 12.
Add the 3 and the 5 together, because the denominator is the same, what do you get?
8/12.
8/12.
You said we're gonna get 2.
And then simplify it. How do you simplify it?
4.
Divide by 4.
Divide top and the bottom by 4. What do you get?
2/3.
2. Now, is there any restriction here? No, there is no restriction because there's no variable in the denominator. So there are no restrictions. So we added these two fractions and we simplified, but we don't have a restriction. But now, number 2, we do have a restriction. What can't x be? X cannot be what?
0.
0. Why can't it be 0?
Oh, you still have to do this for?
Yes, you still have to do this. So, if x were 0, these fractions wouldn't exist. So that's the restriction. X cannot be 0. That's the only restriction that we have on this problem. So now how do you simplify adding 3 over x squared plus 5 over x squared?
8 over x squared.
Good, 8 over x squared. Notice how we did not combine these exponents. Is there anything to simplify? No, it's done. So that's your answer and that's your restriction. Okay, how about number 3?
Restriction is 3.
X can't equal 3.
Good, that's your restriction. X cannot be 3. That's your restriction. Now how do I combine the numerator? What do you have? X squared minus over what? What's the denominator?
X minus 3.
Good. Now can we cancel these x's out?
Yes.
No.
No?
What do you have to do to this numerator right here?
Like just divide.
You have to factor it. This is what we did before we went on break. We factored this. And then what cancels?
3.
X minus.
What do you mean the 3?
X minus 3.
The x minus 3, the whole set. So your answer is x plus 3 over 1. Okay, let's try number 4. Are the denominators the same? Yes, they are. So you're going to combine, how do you combine this numerator? X, the x minus 5 over what?
have to factor it out.
Yes, what are you going to factor?
X minus
This
5,
bottom,
X minus
what do you get? How do you factor x squared minus 25?
5. X minus 5, X
Plus
plus 5.
Before we cancel anything, can you tell me the restrictions? X can't be what?
25. Or, no,
5.
X can be 5.
5 or,
Negative 5.
good, and now what cancels?
The negative 5s.
You mean x minus
Yeah.
5? Okay, is the answer x plus 5?
yes.
What is it?
1
Over
over 2.
1.
It's 1 over. Do we need that 1?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, we do?
You do. You need the 1 in the numerator. Now, if it were flip-flopped, then you don't need the 1 in the denominator. So if you're not sure, put it in and you'll be safe. So if there's nothing left in the numerator, there really is, it's a 1. There's really a 1 here. So it's 1 over x plus 5. Okay, how about number 5? Are there any restrictions?
No.
Are there any restrictions? Why not? There's no variable, good, so there's no restrictions. What do you do now? Is this gonna be x squared over 10? X to the 4th over 10?
Over 5.
X to the 4th over 5?
X to the 4th over 10.
Yeah,
X to the 4th over 5?
I think so.
X squared over 5.
Is it 2x squared over? Yes.
That's cool.
Now, the reason I put this problem here is because I want to see if you remember how to add how do you add that numerator, x squared plus x squared? It's not x to the 4th, it's 2x squared. So you've got to keep these rules straight. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared. Now, I was giving you some bad examples, some bad answers because on a multiple choice test, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna write x to the 4th power to try to confuse you, and I almost had you guys.
Did you leave a coffee pot in the drinking fountain?
Huh?
There's a fiber where, everywhere, coffee, water, so it's cute.
Not
I
me,
thought it might have been for you.
not me. So we're done with this one. How about number 6?
9y minus 3 over
9y minus 3. Where did you get 9y? Explain.
I added the 6y and the 3y.
Yep. And minus 3, where'd that come from?
Negative 4 plus 1 is negative
Good job. All over.
3. Y squared minus 5.
Beautiful. Now, we could pull a 3 out of here. We could. We could take a 3 out. But it's not necessary because I can't factor this. Now, if this was y squared minus 25, that's the difference in 2 perfect squares. There is a restriction on this one. Now, this is a little bit more complicated than the other ones. If you were to set this equal to 0,
Wait, so do you want us to pull the 3 out, or?
you don't have to. You could, but then there's nothing to cancel. So it's okay if you left it like that, or if you pulled the 3 out. There's nothing that's gonna cancel. So it's kinda like you did it, but there's nothing to cancel. But for the restriction, there are restrictions here. If you were to add 5 to the other side, does anyone know how to solve for this one?
Square root.
Square root both sides. And y would equal plus or minus the square root of 5. So this is what your restrictions are. You don't want y to be root 5 or negative root 5. Because if it were, and you squared it, you get a 0 in the denominator. So this is the answer, or you could leave it like this, but these are the two restrictions. So the restrictions are y cannot be square root of 5 or square root of negative 5, or negative square root of 5. 7. Are the denominators the same? So what do you get when you combine these two numerators?
7y
7y plus 5 over,
31.
not 6y, right? Or 6y squared, okay, good. Can I cancel these y's out?
No.
No,
No.
good job. Can you simplify anything? No, so this is done. Now what are my restrictions? What can't y be?
0.
0. Negative 3 is fine, because 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. But if y were 0, you get a 0 in the
So is
denominator.
that just the full answer then?
Yep, this is the full answer, and this is the full restriction. Number 8. Are these denominators the same?
Yeah.
How about the numerator? What is 12 minus 9?
3.
3. Can I cancel anything? Is there anything that I can reduce? No. So what are my two restrictions? X cannot be 0 and y can't be 0. That's it. Next one. Are these denominators the same? So what is my numerator and what's my denominator?
X minus 1 over x plus
Can I cancel these x's out? No, good job. Can you just tell me what the restriction is then?
6. X cannot be
Negative
negative
6.
6.
Perfect. So this is your answer, and that is, it's simplified, or that's the restriction. Simplified answer and restriction. Okay, save the last two, the hard ones, for last. Let's talk about this one right here.
A minus 10, A minus 6.
What's the denominator gonna be, for sure?
A minus 6.
Okay, we know that is a minus 6, because they're the same. I'm gonna circle this numerator.
No, you just put it from like the greatest to, I forget this.
What do you think the numerator is gonna be? Anyone?
A minus 10.
Hmm?
A minus 10.
A minus 10, nope.
A squared minus 4a minus.
A
Or plus
squared,
A.
no.
A squared
Minus
minus
3A.
3a minus 6.
Nope.
Oh, plus 5a.
5A I'm gonna agree
Minus-
with.
Minus 3.
5a? Oh, yeah, 'cause there's a negative.
What are they asking you to do here?
Subtract.
Subtract.
Subtract what?
A.
This whole thing.
Oh,
So what you have to do is distribute this negative. So you have A, we're gonna subtract A squared. We're gonna subtract negative 4A, which is plus 4A. And we're gonna subtract negative 6. How many of you thought of that? Yeah? I didn't hear anybody say negative A squared. This is negative A squared. I heard someone say 5A, but I didn't hear plus 6. Now, do you recall when you have a negative in front, what to do? Anyone remember? What am I doing?
Just taking it out.
Taking it out. giving you some hints here. Can we do anything with this a squared minus 5a plus minus 6? I'm gonna give you a hint, look at the bottom here. Can you break a squared minus 5a minus 6 up?
Oh, you can just factor it out.
Mm-hmm. To what? To what?
A
1 and 5.
plus,
For 1 and 5,
A
yeah,
plus one,
a plus one.
a plus 1,
A minus 6.
good job.
Then the A minus 6 cancels out.
The a minus 6 is canceled. Before we cancel them, what's the restriction?
6.
A cannot be what?
Positive.
A can't be 6. Now, what's your final answer?
-1. A plus 1 over 1.
Do we need the 1 in the denominator? No, you don't. Now, you could write this answer several different ways. You could leave it like that, or you could distribute the -1. It's up to you. You could write negative a minus 1 too.
So, you don't have to put the over one, do you?
You don't. Not if the 1 is in the denominator, but if it's in the numerator, you would. Okay, last one.
Problem's hard.
Nope, it's not.
It's just long.
Keep the rules straight. First of all, are the denominators the same?
Yeah,
You just have to
What-
factor.
So what's the denominator gonna be?
X plus 5.
What do you think you have for the numerator? I'm gonna just, well, all I'm gonna do is circle this. What's in that numerator?
adding
Go ahead.
x squared plus 7x minus, or plus 10.
Okay. Next.
Factor the factor.
Mm-hmm. How do you factor it? Now, you know what? You have a hint.
5 and 2.
Hint. Look at these two.
X squared
Isn't it 5 and
plus.
2?
Mm-hmm.
You can do your restrictions.
Uh-huh. D'Angelo, what are the restrictions? X
X
can't be.
can't be 5, x can't be 3. Or -5, and x can't be 3.
Yep. And what cancels?
The X plus 5.
So what's your final answer?
X plus 2 or X minus 3.
So the answer is x plus 2 over x minus 3. That's your answer. So, what are we doing today? We're adding and subtracting fractions with the same denominator. Tomorrow, the denominators are not going to be the same. Tomorrow, you're going to have something like this. 3/4 plus 1/2. Can you add those up?
Yeah.
Well,
Times
you
the
can.
half by 2.
After you get a common denominator. We'll do that tomorrow. But today, the back side is your homework, and you want to keep straight. If the denominators are the same, you combine the numerators. So you've got 10 problems on the back,